What's up, everybody? Round number 5, Blair's breakdown, Indianapolis. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk to Alex at Dirtworks. Got a couple questions. We are going to go over the Jett Lawrence crashes and try to make sense of it. Obviously, he's just a crazy talent, but hey, when you're that good and you're going that fast, things still happen. We're gonna try to break that down so you understand why I think it happened. And then I'm gonna throw out a theory on Ken Roczen. It's halfway through the main event, it started coming to me, and I'm gonna throw something out there. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm gonna throw something out there that I think is pretty legit. But while we get over to Alex, let's just cover the 250s first. Colt Nichols. Okay, think back in time, all the 250 champions, East, West, whatever. It's like a guy finds it, right? Like all of a sudden it just clicks and it's like game over for everybody. We've seen that in different years. That's what's happening. And I'm a pretty reactive person. I overreact emotionally. If guy does good one night, I think he's the best the next day. I'm weird like that, but what am I supposed to say to this? This is 3 in a row and they're getting easier. His starts are, I mean, everything is perfect. So unless a lap rider jumps up and bites him, I don't know if he's beatable. I really don't, and I know that's silly to say, but who's gonna beat him in 15+1 straight up? Is Mosman? Eh. Craig maybe again, maybe if Jett heals up, eh. That's a lot of eh, you know what I'm saying? Nichols might win the rest of them, I'm not kidding. He is perfect right now, the best I've ever seen him. So, congrats to him, great ride. Christian Craig, solid in second. He's frustrated on the podium, you could tell, but he said it, his teammate's on fire. Like, what are you gonna do? And then Michael Mosman just got, poor guy. Like, if he had a shot to win, it would have been tonight. He was kind of checking out. I don't know if he would have went the distance for 15. You know, lap traffic that was gonna play a role no matter what, but that lapper that went down in front of him, I mean, he's lucky he actually just hit him and kind of missed and got the podium, but you know, like, you're out front pulling away and then, poor guy. But good ride for him on the podium. Let's go to Alex. Let's talk about the track first. We'll come back and we'll break down the Jett Lawrence crashes. I got my guy. I got a bunch of questions for you. Let's start with just the soil itself. It was drier. The riders talked about the base being a little bit harder. You saw Tomac washing out. Just take me through what happened from the first day here to tonight and just what you guys did to allow this to happen.
I would say it wasn't crazy drier, but definitely was a little bit drier. It was almost like a little test to see if it would harden up a little bit. As you can see, end of the 450 main, there's still some pretty gnarly ruts. To me, it's a little less ruddy. I mean, that's crazy to say after looking at how ruddy it is.
This is nice compared to Saturday, but to your point, it's still gonna come up because of the way these guys are gassing it and digging. I'm talking more like corners. It seemed like they bermed a little more. It was slicker like on the flats. Is that just from naturally drying out? And I feel like there's humidity in here yesterday a little bit too.
Yeah, I think between this round and the next, I think the dirt's gonna change a little bit more even on top of that. So it's not like it's gonna be like the first round 3 times, like you said, like it's drying out a little bit. We put a little less water down. I think we're gonna have to put a little more water in it for the third one so we don't, you know, it doesn't get dusty or whatever. But yeah, it hardened up a little bit, which is actually kind of what we were hoping for.
So you're happy with the way it turned out? I mean, I am. I think it was great.
This rhythm lane 2 are great. I mean, in the main, you can see Barsha and Tomac were constantly doing different lines.
Yes.
Trying to catch each other in this corner down here. That they're landing on that last 3 or singling in. This lane was super tricky, getting that triple in.
Oh,
quad out.
It was big.
Yeah, that was a factor.
Okay, question then. These guys are all, they all think the same?
Yeah.
So they all look at this rhythm and probably end up wanting to do the same thing?
Yep.
How do you guys decide where to put this table, where to put that table to get these guys to do different things? This rhythm section, I saw so many options. Like in the main event, like you said, battling, doing different things. It doesn't happen that often because they all want to funnel into the same thing.
Yeah. So
take me through the decisions that were made in this rhythm, because I had heard that some things were moved a little bit too. Like there was a little bit of a switch to make this happen.
So basically, like, you never want to go high. You know, you always want to go low to low. So, like for example, these next 3 jumps, 3, 5, 3. Like you can go quad off the 5, but if you go 3 over 3, you're going low and far.
Okay.
Landing on top of the tabletops, you got more drive coming off. So like, they're all, I mean, we all have an idea of what they're gonna do between spacing and heights and steepnesses. Well, I mean, the riders always end up surprising us with certain lines, but yeah, when we look at the blueprint and we talk about how steep we should make something, we should lay it down. What if they do this? What if they do that? It's all somewhat calculated on our side, but at the end of the day, the riders are going to do what they do.
They do, but when you see that happen, are you just like, yeah, because this one was awesome. Like the generic rhythm was very generic. It wasn't super fast, but it was doable every lap. You tempted them with a couple different things, and they were doing it in different ways. This big booter from this over that big single, that was cool. What was the other one? Oh, the 3 up on, or no, I'm sorry, the 3 over and then the 3 out. So were you guys stoked? Because I mean, you don't see it every time where you have the guys battling on the podium doing different rhythms through the air. That's
and the slightest change can change what the riders want to do. It's pretty amazing.
Right, like if this lip right here, you decide to make it a little mellower, all of a sudden something's unavailable, or all of a sudden someone's doing something, you're like, ah.
Like that 3-footer after you come underneath the bridge, I made sure I hit that in my main track maintenance because I wanted it to be fresh. So a lot of guys were going to be able to triple in because I knew by lap 15 to 20 it was going to be hard and inconsistent. If I didn't hit that in my maintenance, it might be hard to triple in for the whole main
you might get 5 minutes of it.
Exactly. So
wow, okay.
Like
now again, this tabletop could have been moved 1 over. You could have come out and gone 3 on off. What was about the decision to put it right here? Did you want that 3 and that big boot out? Is that what you wanted?
It actually was supposed to go there.
You're right.
But we changed that during the last time you were here interviewing me. So, and that's exactly what you said. We wanted that 3, 4 out possible, option. So
sick. I just, it doesn't always work out, but man, today they were doing different things, and not just like in time qualifying. They were racing different rhythms, and the best part is, you guys nailed it. They were about the same speed. So it really wasn't like there's a good way or a bad way. It was there's multiple good ways. Which one do you want to do? Which one? And I was thinking about this too. When you have those options, is that part of that too as a fallback? Like say these ruts get so bad, the guys go, well, let me fall back on my other rhythm. It might not be as bad. Like look at this lip. Look at this. This lip stayed great. You could 3 out of this all day, no problem. It's almost like it's a backup plan for the guys. If this gets too bad, well, let me switch it up and do that one.
Usually after the first practice they were all doing different lines. Then usually when they come out for their second practice, for their first time, it's usually always somewhat one line because they have the data. They see which lines are faster, which are not. The teams, when they're filming up in the stands, and when they came out for their first time practice, they were still doing different lines. So it's a win. It was a win for us.
It worked. It was good. I again, for a rhythm section that was here on Saturday, that didn't have crazy changes, you guys nailed this one. This was great, and all the way to the very last lap, they were doing different stuff. So next Saturday, or this Saturday, I want to talk segment times with you. Because the riders have the 3 segments. I don't know if everyone knows this, but we always talk about lap times. There's actually 3 segments, and the riders will go back to the truck and really zero in on one and figure out what the problem is. So just be ready for that on our next one. I want to understand segments, the decisions that are made, where to place them, and how that all works. So, but otherwise, dude, good job. This is awesome, and have fun the next couple days. See you on Saturday.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's talk Jett Lawrence and his crashes. The first one was in the whoops in qualifying. And I kind of want to explain to you what happened because it happens when a guy's going a little too fast and they kind of miss the top of a whoop. He didn't miss it all the way, but he still missed. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. Here's the whoop, right? The guys are hitting the top, say 1 foot, maybe 18 inches. That's where you want to hit. And the goal is for these teams and these riders is to have their suspension hit, compress, the compression, and then it wants to rebound at the perfect amount of speed. You don't want it too fast, too slow. You want it to rebound to where when it hits the next whoop on the top 18 inches, it gets like that consistency, in, out, in, out, in, out. If you come in a little too fast and you hit the very top, the bike doesn't get the squat that you want, right? So it actually stays a little bit high. Then the timing is off. When you go to hit the next one, it hits twice as hard, and then you're just like, you're on for the ride. It's like a bucking bronco. So the problem with Jett Lawrence in that whoop crash, I mean, you can see it in the highlight, comes in too fast and misses one early. You just can't recover from those when you're going that fast. And his problem was a little bit too much trust, a little bit too much comfort, a little bit too much speed. And as soon as he kind of missed that sweet spot, the 18 inches that you want to be in, and he just clipped the top, the bike didn't react the right way, and he was just going too fast for his body to recover. So that's how the first one happened. Again, you gotta hit each one. No matter how much you wanna commit, you gotta hit the top of the whoops. If you hit too far down, it ruins the timing. You hit too far up, it ruins the timing. At the speed he was going through these, I mean, he was on a bucking bronco from that point. So that's what cost it. It was a little bit too much trust, a little bit too much speed, missed the sweet spot, game over. All right, so the track crew took the double out that Jett crashed on in his heat race, but I wanna show you kind of what happened. Now, once the riders get into this corner, this 90-degree corner, see what forms here? You've got this like little ledge, right? It's like a little bit of a rut, a little bit of a wall. Once these guys get a line carved in, the rut comes back and it sends them out straight. What happened with Jett, I mean, you can watch the clip. He comes in, and when he hits that corner, the rut's not really formed yet. So when he gasses it, the front end kind of lifts, sends him to the right. So he goes up the jump thinking he's fine, and it shoots him off into the tough block. So again, it was one of those things where it was just a little bit off time. Instead of being able to hit that bank, cut and cut back to the left, he just gassed it, and that line wasn't developed yet. Lifts the front end, changes his cornering, and he corners now off the double to the right, hits the tough block and goes down. I mean, we're watching a really talented kid make mistakes that are this big with this big of consequences because of how fast he's going. And again, it's hard to see. I'm bummed for him. But at the same time, these are fixable issues. These are little things that he'll learn over time to just be more careful of in those moments, and he's gonna be fine. But on this night, it was brutally rough. Let's talk 450. I don't wanna waste much time on anything other than Ken Roczen right now because I wanna throw this theory out. Think back to 2017, okay? He had just won the outdoor title for RCH Suzuki. He went to Honda, factory Honda HRC. He comes out at the first 2 rounds of the championship and just it looked like the changing of the guard, right? Like this was gonna be the new guy. He was dominating. It was like Honda's return. Then he has the big crash that takes him out, does the arm, has all those surgeries, whatever. From that point till now, I feel like this guy has been just like trying to get back, but he's had like these expectations because he's Ken Roczen, but really it took some time. Like think about just the progression each year. 2018, he hurts the other arm. 2019, he's pretty good, but doesn't get a win. 2020, he finally wins. But I feel because he's Ken Roczen, he's had these expectations that are just so high and a little unfair because he really had a really rough, like life-altering thing go down. 2021, he is starting to look like the 2017 Ken Roczen because he gets better starts than everybody when he's on, which he is. He's got more raw speed, his racecraft, his late race charge, every part of his program is finally all the way there. And that is super scary because every other rider right now I'm seeing has major weaknesses. Eli Tomac is pulling off great starts in the main event right now, but can we trust that? Cooper Webb, for whatever reason, is having bad starts. Cincerello's not really ready to go the distance. Zach Osborne's having it. Like, everybody has these problems. Are you seeing any with Kenny right now? I'm not, and I don't want to overreact here, but it's starting to look like the beginning of the 2017 season. He said that he did a full reset. He allowed himself to get out of shape because he physically wanted to have his body just start all the way over. And I don't know if you've seen the guy with his jersey off, but he is like so chiseled, so like just perfect right now. And I think that it just took the time. And again, this is a long season. Things can change. He could make mistakes and blow it, whatever. But I'm just having these feelings right now. Like that guy is finally becoming the 2017 Ken Roczen that was on his way to being, I think, a multi-time champion. And I know this is unfair to Jason Anderson, Cooper Webb, and Eli Tomac, but if Roczen never gets hurt in 2017, what do the record books look like? I mean, you all saw those races. I think it looks a little bit different. And I'm just wondering if this full reset, taking off the summer, the new bike, his body and his family, everything, it's like a new Ken Roczen, but it's not really a new one. It's the old one from 17. So it's just something I want to throw out. I could be way wrong. He could on Saturday night just suck and get worked, but I'm kind of having this feeling like he is getting it all together, and this might just be his year because he's doing everything perfect, and he just slapped him tonight. So I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the season goes, but this was a fun one. Tuesday nights are always cool because it's a Tuesday night, right? But we got one more here in Indy, and I think it's going to be good. 250 class, I hope Jett Lawrence comes back. 450 class, I want to see these guys get in there and mess with Kenny a little bit. I don't want him to run away with this thing, but it's starting to look like something that was brewing in 2017. And again, I think he was about to change the sport in 2017 and become the new guy. It might be starting right now. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in to Blair's Breakdown. You heard me talk to Alex. We're going to talk segment times. We've got some GoPro ideas. I think I have a guest coming on the next Saturday, so I hope you like it. Tune in. We'll be back on Saturday.